know if I can properly convey this. I'm going to try my best. My life has become a paradox, and I'm not even sure if that's the right word. I feel like I'm in a quandary, and I don't even know if that's the right word. Not my last video, but the video before that, I talked about how I no longer bother with manifesting videos because there's no point. Believe that I already have what I want. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Persist in that assumption, and it will harden into fact. It shall be mine. There's just one problem. I don't know what you want, but if you could have your life any way you want, I love hypotheticals. If God came down and appeared before you, or some angel appeared before you and said, I will make your life however you want. Tell me exactly how you want your life to be, and I will give you that life, whatever you want. Do you know what you want? Do you know what you would say to God or the angel or whatever it is? And you're going to get exactly what you want, the life that you want. Manifestation technique says we don't get what we want, we get what we are. On and on and on, all the manifestation gurus keep telling us it's not about effort, it's about energy, vibration, and I agree with all of that. But the quandary of living the life that you want and living the life that you're stuck with has been my adult nightmare. And not having the life that I wanted caused me to destroy the life that I had. And being unable to get the life that I want, having lost the life that I had, I now am in this quandary of trying to get the life that I want by believing that I already have it, or by persisting in the feeling that I would feel if I already had it, and wanting that life that I want to live, and not being able to live that life because I have to get up and go to work in the morning, and I have bills that I have to pay, and I'm only getting older, and my life did not go the way I wanted it to, and it is not going the way I want it to. Yet I know exactly what I want. I know exactly how I would live my life if I could. And as far as I can tell, there might be more than one thing preventing me from living the life that I want to live. But the number one thing that is preventing me from living the life that I want to live, and I'm guessing it's preventing you from living the life you want, is money. Let's go absurd for a moment. If I had $50 billion, that is an absurd amount of money, and yet there are many people who have more than 50 billion, hundreds, I believe. That is beyond anything that I would ever need. And yet people who have that much money, all they're doing, not everybody, I'm sure there are plenty of I'm sure there are multi-billionaires out there who are living an amazing life. But a lot of them just keep trying to make more money. Now, if that isn't the most insane thing that you could do, here's $50 billion, sir. What would you like to do? Oh, how can I turn it into 100? And then I want to turn it into 200, and then 300, and then 400. And that is literally, I think, what most billionaires are doing. All they're doing. They're even trying to control politics, and they're succeeding at it because they have all the money. So They're trying to get more money. I am so beyond, that is so beyond my understanding. Why are you trying to get more money? Unless you're going to do good with it, I don't understand. What do you need money for? If I had $50 billion, I would spend the rest of my life giving away most of that money. Wouldn't you? What do you need it for? All the good you could do with that money. And so I decided that's how much I want. Because if I had 50 billion, I would give away most of it. Every month I would try to give away more, because the money would make you money, right? If you get 3%, if you just get 3% back on your money, that's $1.5 billion a year. Sitting on your ass doing nothing, and you've got somebody who's investing your money, and they're going to get you 3% on average, and you have to pay them whatever whatever their commission is. That's a $1.5 billion a year doing nothing. Now I've got 50 billion. I don't even need to invest the money. I could just start handing out millions of dollars every single day for the rest of my life. Just here's $1 million for you, $1 million. I could do that for the rest of my life, and I'd die a multi-billionaire. I think I'd still be a multi-billionaire. Live to be 100. 37 more years, $1 million a day. I hand out money just all day long, just giving money to people, cash. And I think I would die at 100 years old, and I think I'd still be a multi-billionaire. I'd have to do the math. I could grab my calculator, but it's absurd. Our obsession with wealth. People say, "Oh, you just want money." Yeah, so I can be free to do what I want, free to live the life that I want. If I just had money, I'd be free to live the life that I want. I wouldn't be living in this apartment. I like this apartment. It's a nice apartment. But I want to live in a house in the country. Somebody wants to live on the ocean. I would enjoy living on the ocean. That'd be nice. I might own a 3-bedroom bungalow on the ocean. Oceanfront property. I might do something like that. I certainly could have that along with my country home. Would I have a yacht? Maybe. I don't think so. Would you? I could see having one. The woman that in Trump's first term, the woman he put in charge of education, a woman who was actually against the concept of public education, put her in charge of education. That's the world we're living in, folks. I was told she had 12 yachts. She was a billionaire. I'm like, 12 yachts? Oh, I get it. So that wherever you go, there's your yacht. Oh, I got to go to Europe. I got a yacht over there. Make sure that's ready for me. We'll be there, in 2 weeks. Oh, you're going to Europe. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go to South Africa. I got a yacht over in South Africa. I got 12 yachts all over the world. So that wherever I go, there's my yacht. This is the life that people are living. I don't think I would have a yacht. I can't say absolutely I wouldn't. What do I need a yacht for? It might be fun. When I think of a yacht, I think of the movie Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe and Tony Curtis. And they're on a yacht and they're making out on the yacht. That's the vision that always comes into my head whenever I hear about somebody with a yacht. Some Like It Hot. You never seen that movie? If you're a Marilyn Monroe fan, I'm sure you've seen that movie. Oh man. And once again, no matter how much I think I've figured this out, I haven't. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Persist in the assumption. Yeah, okay. But you can't. Well, you can, but it doesn't last. After several days, frustration set in, doubt sets in. It just happens. Life happens. And I'm living a life that I don't want to be living. And I'm trying to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And it felt great until life keeps frustrating me. My inability to be able to live the way I want. And it's like, the only way to live that way is to believe that you already have it and it'll happen. But how do you maintain that while living the life that you don't want? I don't want this life. I have to be honest. If I'm not going to be honest, I don't see how I could possibly create that life that I have imagined myself living and know how I'd live. I am in such a paradox because I am grateful for all that I have. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I am grateful. I can easily say this without any hesitation. I am grateful for everything that I have because I could be homeless right now. I was one day away from being homeless several years ago. One day away. Nowhere to go and scared. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I am grateful for everything in my life. I am lucky. I am fortunate. I feel like God was taking care of me, yet I lost my family. My wife divorced me. Everything I had came crashing down. And everything I wanted, I couldn't get back. And what I wouldn't give to be able to go back in time and stop myself from ruining my life. Because I wasn't happy with that life. Because that was not the life I wanted to live either. I wanted my family, but I didn't want to have to go to work at some job that I'm only working because I need money. I just wanted money so that I don't have to go work some damn job and I could do what I wanted to do. And my inability to do what I wanted to do made me unhappy, and that ultimately led to my wife divorcing me. Well, we got separated for a while. We were separated for 8 years trying to put this back together, and 3 times in the 8 years, I was convinced that we were getting back together. And every time, I think I unconsciously sabotaged it. Because I knew I didn't deserve it, or something like that. And what I wouldn't give to be able to go back in time and stop myself. But I'd have to go back to further than that. There are so many regrets. And I can't live in regret because that's not going to help me. So I have to live and assume this feeling that my life is what it is. And I have to believe that it is what it is. But inevitably I can't maintain it. I want to maintain it. I think that's the only secret to life. I just watched a little short about the law of vibration. And it was kind of like said the same thing. But how do you... I can persist at it up to a point. I talked about it in the video. Really thought I had finally had crossed the threshold there. But now I'm like, you really don't believe that you're ever going to get that life that you want because you've been trying to get that life since you turned 18 or 21. Want to go after, once I was dropped out of college, 4.5 years later, 22. My inability to control my life and create the life that I want drove me insane. Made me angry. Made me mad. Mad at God, mad at the world, mad at the insanity of this world. All the resources and the technology to create paradise on earth, and instead we're destroying the planet and destroying people's lives, and America is going to hell right now. And nothing's being done about it. If any government tried to do what is being done today, it would have failed. They never would have succeeded. How can you have more money than you'll ever need, and all you want to do is make more money? Can someone explain that to me? Would that really happen to me? You give me 50 billion. Give me 5 million. And I don't need another dime. 3 million, I don't need another. 2 million, free and clear after taxes. 2 million free and clear. I don't need another dime. I don't. Do you? Would you need more than that? I mean, if you're 20, let's just go with 5 million. Want to make it 10, make it real simple? That way, no matter how old you are, would you need more than that to live a wonderful life, to be able to, and would you feel free that you can now do whatever you want to do? You want to start a YouTube channel? You want to do a podcast? You want to learn how to swim? You want to learn how to play the guitar? You want to, whatever you want to do, you could just go do it. Couldn't you? If you had $10 million free and clear after taxes, wouldn't you be free to do whatever you want? Not 100%. I mean, we all have responsibilities, and I believe in serving in my community. I'm not serving in my community now. I work all day, and I come home, and I don't work all day. I have lots of free time, but I come home and I'm here in the evening, and it's why I end up making these videos, because I'm like, well, what should I do this evening? Should I watch more YouTube videos because I enjoy them? I just watched Nikki Lou react to the Holy Grail. She was so confused by that movie. It's hilarious. Check it out, Nikki Lou. She's a trip. She's a total hoot, this girl. And she's watching Holy Grail, and she's never seen Monty Python. I said, Nikki, you got to watch these sketches. Watch the Monty Python sketches. Got this girl, Kobe, the Kobe show. She's so into herself. Oh, my God. But she seems like she's got a nice personality, and she's watching Fawlty Towers, so I'm watching. You're going to watch Fawlty Towers. I'm going to watch you watch Fawlty Towers, because it's a trip to watch people watch Fawlty Towers. And she's not fully getting it this episode, and I'm like, okay, it's like she didn't fully get it. I'm not really sure. It seemed like the first episode she really enjoyed more. The second one, I'm not really sure. We'll see what happens with the next one. I can't wait for the next one. So it's things like that I really like. I love YouTube with all the fun things that you can do with it. But now I'm like, what do I want to do? I would like to get a webcam instead of just using my phone. I need to get a webcam, and I need to set up a professional thing so I can make better YouTube videos. But again, I would not, if I had 5 million or 10 million, or let alone 50 billion, I would do YouTube, but I wouldn't do it to make money. But let me change that. I would make money because I'd be doing what I want on YouTube, which would make money, but I'm at least 90% certain that I'd give all that money away. Why? Because I don't need it. What do I need it for? Well, why are you doing YouTube videos then? Because I would enjoy it. If I was free to do what I want, I would do what I enjoy. What do I enjoy? Playing Dungeons and Dragons. I just talked about that. I'd play Dungeons and Dragons as often as I could. Not as often as I would set it up. I would set up the time. I would hopefully get my family back, at least in some form. I would play my card games that I love to play. Wyvern, L5R. I would practice the Wim Hof method. I would go train with Wim Hof. That's one thing I would absolutely go do, is train with him, because I need to. I need him to basically kick my ass, I mean, spiritually speaking, and really get me, Wim is something. Everyone should practice the Wim Hof method. And I would preach that to people. And I would help people, because helping people is a great thing to do. Isn't it a great thing to do, to help people? That's what Wim is doing. He's reached over 100 million people, I'm told now. He's on a mission. He's on a mission to reach the entire world. He never, ever gets sick. Never gets sick. Not even a cold. He found the secret to health. And he lives it. He's 66 years old and he's powerful. And I know how I would live if I had enough money to live. And Wim has talked about it too. When is it enough? And I'm like, yeah, when is it enough? Not that I wouldn't take more, sure. But I'm going to use that money to help others, because that's the best thing you can do with money. Once you have what you need, once you're set for life, and we just went with 10 million because that's a safe number. I would be set with 2 million, maybe 3, but okay, somewhere in there. Once you have that, the best thing you can do with any money that you get after that is help others. It's the best thing you can do. Give back. That's what a lot of rich people do. A lot of rich people do a lot of good. They give money. Even Bill Gates, who I think is a loon. He can't stop working. He can't stop making money. I'm like, Bill, why do you need to make money? Unless he's doing good with it. And that's his motivation. Okay, then great. But a lot of rich people are not making money so that they can do good with it. They're making money because they want more. Because they're obsessed. Elon Musk is a perfect example. Elon Musk thinks that empathy is weakness. That's absurd. Empathy is possibly the greatest emotion a human being can have, is empathy for their fellow human beings. How can you not have empathy? Jeff Bezos' ex-wife got half of his wealth. She had like $70 billion. $70 billion. She's giving away billions of dollars. And he criticized her for it, saying she's ruining our way of life or our civilization or something. So when she heard that he was criticizing her, she doubled her efforts. She started giving away twice as much as she was giving away. And I went, yeah, I want to meet that girl. I do. I'd love to meet that girl. I want to meet Wim Hof. I want to meet Ren. I want to meet the charismatic voice. None of these people care about me because I'm nobody. If I was somebody, they'd want to. The charismatic voice, Elizabeth is her name, couldn't wait to interview John Anderson, the singer of Yes, because that's a big deal for her. And he wanted it because she's got like 2 million subscribers. So he was like, sure, I'll come on. You know what Elizabeth would say to me? Hey, can I come on your show and you want to interview me? She'd go, who are you? It's ridiculous, right? But if I had $50 billion, I could probably get her to interview me. I could probably interview her on my YouTube channel. I thought about what I would do if I had $50 billion or just $10 million or whatever. The kind of YouTube channel I want and that I would enjoy doing. But I wouldn't be doing it to make money. I'd be doing it because I enjoy it. And Elizabeth enjoys what she's doing. She said she's living her dream life, and I thought that's awesome. She's making a lot of money doing it, but so what? That's fine. See, people think that people like me, oh, you're just jealous, or they have all these weird things that they say. I think it's great that someone like Elizabeth, the charismatic voice, is living her dream life and is making a ton of money on YouTube. I assume she's making a ton of money on YouTube. I don't know how she could be making money because I'm acting like Jack Benny now. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Jack Benny. This is Jack Benny, just so you know. She does music reactions. Everything should be copyright claimed. How is Elizabeth making money on YouTube? If every video she makes is copyright claimed, she gets zero or some of it. I don't get it. No clue why anyone still does music reaction channels on YouTube. It's crazy. But I might do it because I wouldn't care about the money because I'm not doing it for money. So I would have some music reaction in my channel. But my channel would be a variety just like it is now, but it wouldn't just be me on my channel. And I would want to interview people. I would do live streams. I would do different things. But I can't go into all the details of what I would do, but I've imagined all these things and thought them through in my head. And I would have 2 YouTube channels. One would be this channel. And on this channel, I would pretty much do what I'm doing now, but I would probably have a much more professional setup. I would have an editor, and I would have a guy or girl who's really good at making videos, professional quality videos, because I would want to do that, because it would be nice to do that. Right now, I just turn my camera on, no editing at all, no nothing, because I don't bother. Somebody said, here, just here's the link. You can just that'll show you how to make the video. I clicked on the link. I went, oh, heck no. I'm not going to do any of that. Me and technology, it's like oil and vinegar? Yeah, oil and vinegar. Oil and water. We don't, it doesn't work. The moment I try to get to deal with technology, it's no good. But see, if I was wealthy, I'd have a guy and I'd say, show me how to do this. Show me how to make these videos. Show me how to do this editing. I want to learn everything. But I would pay someone to do it for me, just like Elizabeth pays. She has a staff. She's got a staff of people for her YouTube channel. How? You do music reactions. Where's the money coming from? I'm so confused by that. Does anybody know how Elizabeth, the charismatic voice, how is she making money? Any music reaction channel. Lost in Vegas, those 2 guys, how are they making money? Anyone. Sarah Dangler, I think is her name. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of YouTube reaction channels. Jamal just said he's going to start making YouTube reactions again. Ren just went on a rant about how it's wrong the way YouTube treats music reactors, that the music reactors should be getting paid. He thinks it's ridiculous. And he wants people to react to his music, and he will, he wants them to be paid too. He supports them. But my inability to create the life that I want is why I'm frustrated. And the secret is to believe that I already have the life that I want and it'll happen. But what I just watched, this little short about the law of vibration, I just watched it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really doing that. And how do you do that? I can do it a little bit. It's really, really frustrating. And that's the problem. You can't be frustrated if you're trying to manifest your dream life. But I'm not trying to manifest my dream life. Because if I'm trying to manifest my dream life, then I'm saying that I don't have my dream life, and I have to believe that I have it to get it. And that's a paradox in itself. And I'm going back to being Jack Benny again. There we go. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel that I'm, once again, trapped. Having to do what I have to do in order to survive, and not being able to do what I want to do because I don't have the freedom to do it and the resources to do it. And all I want to do is live in the country, and yeah, I'd have my 2 YouTube channels, but I'd have my family and I'd have friends, and we would play games and we would have parties, and I would build my art gallery if I had the money, all my dad's art, possibly other people's art, and I would have that. But that would just be a thing that I'd have. It's not like I've got to be there all day long. I would hire somebody to be there if I had that kind of money, $50 billion or 50 million, let's say 100 million. If I had 100 million, I pay someone to run the art gallery. I'd do lots of things. I'd study martial arts again. I'd learn how to box. I want to take boxing lessons. I want to learn how to play all the instruments just to be able to play them, reasonably well. Every single one. That's something I would do. I would take lessons on every single instrument. I was a child prodigy. I picked up my dad had a bugle laying around when I was 3 years old. And they said that I walked up to the bugle and went, "Oh, what's this?" And I picked it up and played it. Just played it. Whatever. So my dad gets me a cornet, and I started taking cornet lessons. It's a little small trumpet. Cornet's a nice instrument. I started taking cornet lessons at 5 years old. And my cornet teacher was Mr. Pizzi. I still remember his name. And I remember playing, and they had a band. We were in a contest, and I'm like 6 now, maybe 7. I had studied for 2 years, and I'd learned how to read music. But my dad said before I learned how to read music, when I had the little cornet, before I was taking lessons, when I was 4, he would put on jazz records, and my brother would be on the drums, and my dad's playing either the clarinet or the saxophone, and I'd just play the trumpet. And he said, "Oh, you sounded great." He said, "You just play along with the music." And I had no clue what I was playing. He said, "It's unreal how you sounded." And I went, "Really? Was I really that good?" He goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, come on." And he said, No, you were really good. Because you weren't thinking about notes. When I learned notes, how to read notes, it was harder to improvise. Except on the piano, I can improvise, but still not. I can only improvise in certain keys, and otherwise I can't. So apparently, I wish I could hear myself. I wish I could see myself playing my little cornet when I was 4 years old. But I played in a band, and we came in second place. I don't remember all the members of the band. There were maybe 8 of us. I don't know. No clue. I think I mentioned that in a different video. But I want to learn how to play everything. I learned a little of trombone. I learned a little French horn. But I want to learn how to play the violin, the guitar, drums. I took a class on drums to learn the basics of how to do the drum roll and things like that. But I want to learn everything. Clarinet, saxophone, flute, cello. I want to learn it all. Why? Because I really enjoy music and I like learning how to do things. That's fun. I want to learn all the different card games. I learned how to play the following card games. Okay, so we had Magic. I learned how to play Pokemon. I learned Wyvern. That was the first game that I learned. I'm going to forget some. L5R. Did I say 7th Sea? I don't think I did. 7th Sea. So that's 5. Magi Nation. Learned that one. Harry Potter. I learned how to play that. Doomtown. We did play Lord of the Rings, but not much. But I did learn it a little bit. There was a baseball card game. I learned a little of that. So now we're up to 10. And I know I'm forgetting some. I just loved to learn how to play games. We used to just have game night at our place. My wife and I and our friends would come over to our place and play in our basement. We would play either board games, D&D, or card games. And it could be, eventually it just ended up being Magic, because Magic was just amazing. But we played 7th Sea, and it was fun. We played all of them, Magi Nation, and we would go to Gen Con every year. And that's where I learned all these games. That's where we found all these games. I mean, wouldn't you just have fun if you had $10 million and were free to do what you want? Not that you wouldn't do things that you had responsibilities and things. Of course, no. I'm not saying I would just party all day. I wouldn't just do that. I would learn things, and I would also be involved in things, of course. In my community, I would want to be involved in the community, at least a little bit. somewhat, and I'd want to help people who were struggling. That would be an enjoyable thing to do. What could be more enjoyable than helping people who are struggling? Helping them out. If I had 50 billion, this is just an idea I had. I said, wouldn't it be fun if I used to work for a clothing company. They were called Psychographics. They were quite popular in Chicago, and they are out of business now. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could start my own clothing company? If I'm a multi-billionaire, it'd be easy. Well, I'm not saying it would be easy to do it, but I could initially just fund the whole thing and hire people to make the clothes and run the company, and maybe at some point we'd turn a profit, but I'm not worried about that. Because if I'm, like I said, if I have 50 billion and at 3%, that's a $1.5 billion a year. That's just at 3%. Doing nothing, and I have a financial advisor who invests my money, does my taxes, pays my bills, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Now I've got this company that's losing money every month, so who cares? I could lose $1 million a day. I'll still die a billionaire. I'm not going to lose $1 million a day, so I wouldn't be concerned at all, and I could just take chances and really build the company. But the thing that I really could do that would be so cool, you ready for it? Oh, this is really radical. I would pay people a living wage. Like, I would start the minimum at like $25 an hour. That would be the base pay. And then you could have maybe your supervisors that would start at 30, and then your assistant managers, and then your manager or managers, depending. And I could fund that whole thing. And if it ever did turn a profit, this is really crazy. First of all, I would take none of the money because I don't need it. What are you doing? What are you starting a company for if you're not doing it to make money? I'm doing it to make clothing, which is a service to the world. I own this company, and we make clothes, all kinds of clothes, from shoes to hats and everything in between, formal wear and anything. Right? Just an idea. It's just an idea. I'd have to do a lot of work to make this work, but I could fund it all, and I don't take a dime. Now let's just say that the company is now finally turning a profit. You know what I would do? It's so radical. I would give all the money to all the people who work the company who are making the money. I'm not working. I can come there and volunteer and serve. I'm the boss. I can fire and hire people. But they'd love me because I would care about everyone there. And if there was a problem with their family, I would say, hey, go take care of your family. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. And I would give them money if they needed it. No one who works for me is going to have problems like, oh no, I don't know what to do, or we're going to have to file bankruptcy. No, you don't. No, you won't have to file bankruptcy. Not while you're working for me. Mm-mm. My only requirement, because I'm not going to provide health care for anybody because I'm so cheap. My only requirement is that you got to practice the Wim Hof method if you want to work for me. You know why? Because I don't provide health care. You know what I would do though? I'll pay all your medical bills. Oh no, you'll go broke. No, I won't. I wouldn't have insurance. Screw insurance. You know what rip-off insurance is? Health insurance is a total rip-off. It's a total con. Unless something really bad happens to you, then you needed the money. But I don't need it. If I had 50 billion, I'd pay everybody's medical bills. Dental and medical. And as long as they practice the Wim Hof method, they're never going to get sick. Or rarely get sick, because I still get sick once in a while, and I don't do it nearly as often as I should, but I would do it much more if I had the money. So everybody working for me is never going to get sick. They're never going to have to worry if there's a family emergency, like they need to take off, family leave. I would be pro-worker, pro-everything. People would love having me as their boss because I would treat them like a member of this family, like a member of my family, like they would care. They would matter to me. Wouldn't Wouldn't you do that if you were in charge of something and you didn't need money? If you had $50 billion and you could pay people really good salaries, look up the guy, I mentioned him once before, Dan Price, I think his name is. He decided to pay everybody who works for him $70,000 a year. Rush Limbaugh said, someone needs to do a study on this, man. They're going to prove that socialism doesn't work. This is going to prove it, because this is going to fail. This is going to prove that socialism doesn't work. This man's an idiot. He's paying people $70,000 a year. You know what he did? He was a multimillionaire running this company, making lots of money, and his people, he was paying competitive wages, but they were struggling to make ends meet. So all of a sudden he raises everybody's salary to $70,000, lowers his salary to $70,000, so he's not making any more than that anymore. He's no longer making more than $70,000 a year. I think that's what he did. And the productivity of his company went whoosh. Everybody loves their job. Everybody went to work happy. Productivity went through the roof. Literally proved Rush Limbaugh wrong. Literally proved the Republican way of life wrong. And what do we see happening in America today? You want proof that we on the left are right? It's all over the place. We can easily show you throughout history that the right has always been wrong and the left has always been right. And yet here we are, and the right is winning the stupid war of ideas. When all of history shows that the right is wrong and the left is right. And I'm not saying the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is right. They are on the right. They are pretending to be on the left. They are center right, folks. The Republican Party is far right. The Democratic Party is center right, and they're awful. It was the Republicans' policies that caused the Great Depression of 1929, the stock market crash. It was the Republicans' way of life that caused the first Gilded Age in the 1890s, the days of the robber barons. And they still think they're right doing what they're doing today. And they're destroying this country. And I don't think this country is going to recover this time. I hope I'm wrong. They're ruining this country by giving everything to the wealthy. Do you even know what Reaganomics is? Supply side economics? Have any of you ever looked into that? Watch a video by Thom Hartmann. It should still be on YouTube. It's old. It's like 10 to 15 years old. Called the Two Santa Claus thing, something. The number 2, Santa Claus. And put in Republican, Thom Hartmann, put in Thom Hartmann, 2 Santa Claus. That's probably all you have to type in. Thom Hartmann, 2 Santa Claus. Watch it. It blew my mind when I watched that. I went, oh my God. And that's when I knew I had been wrong, because up until that point I was a moderate conservative, listening to Rush Limbaugh in the 1980s. And that made me rethink everything. Do you even know that supply side economics, ready for this, is a made up economic theory? They made it up out of thin air. It's not a real economic theory. It has no basis in reality, and we have been running that economic theory since Reagan. Reaganomics, supply side economics. That is the policy that has been running this country. And what do we have now? 30 trillion debt. You know what the debt was when Reagan took over? It was about 900 billion. And when he left office 8 years later, it was about triple that. He tripled the national debt, and they still call him the greatest president ever, who saved America. No, he literally did the opposite. We are living in the Twilight Zone. He did exactly what the Republicans did in the 1920s that caused the stock market crash in 1929. He crashed the market in 87. GW crashed the market in 2007. Trump just crashed the market. Are you hearing me say a Democrat crashed the market? No, it's never happened. And yet we still are voting for these people? Now they're cheating. They're cheating. There's no way this many Americans are fooled by these liars. They're cheating. But the Democrats are corrupt now. They're pro-war, pro-fracking, pro-military industrial complex, pro-for-profit prison industry. What could be more evil than a for-profit prison industry? They don't want to do away with big pharma. You know, Obama got his national health care thing. Yeah, but that was a gift to the corporations. The left doesn't even know that. The left acts like Bill Clinton and Obama were such phenomenal presidents. No, they weren't. They're better than the Republicans, but that's not saying anything. Obama and Clinton were bad presidents who did more harm to this country than the left understands. I understand it. But the ridiculous moronic Republicans say that Obama was a socialist. He gutted the military. They're just making crap up. It's hilarious. When Obama raised taxes on the rich by 3%, Newt Gingrich said, "This will usher in the second Great Depression." That's what he said would happen. And we still listen to these people like they know what they're talking about. I'm not an expert, and I know this is all BS. And I'm not an expert on this stuff. But Hartman educated me a ton, and he's not 100% either. I have issues with Hartman, but he's way better than just about anybody else. It's like Bernie Sanders. People say, oh, Bernie Sanders, he's compromised. Yeah, he is compromised. But he's still way better than anybody else. In a free and fair election, Bernie Sanders would have been president back in 2016. There's no question in my mind about that. He would have been president in 2016. See, I would love to do a podcast with someone. Anyone out there want to do a podcast with me? Politics, religion, we can talk sports, gaming, life, anything you want to talk about. Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy. Have you listened to Joseph Murphy? He's great. He wrote The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, or The Power of Your... He wrote a book, something like that. And then we have Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. He's a neat little guy. You know what Joseph Murphy also taught? I hope a lot of you know who Joseph Murphy is. As much as I liked Joseph Murphy and as much as I've learned from Joseph Murphy, do you know what this fool believed? Yes, he's a fool. He believed that, what was the words he used? External things are not causative. You see, it's all in the power of your mind. And his example that he used is that there were these people who lived and they would drink vodka and they violated all the health standards of the day as the proper eating, and they would just eat whatever they want. They'd drink vodka and however they wanted. They'd party, and they were all living lifelong healthy lives. And they said, when they asked these people, how do you do it? They said, well, it's real simple. Every day we get up in the morning, we give thanks to God, the source of our supply, for all that there is, and we celebrate life. And it's all about mental. It's all in your mind. And he said, and today people believe that external things are causative. And he went, they're not. And I went, really? External things aren't causative. Okay. And God, I wish he was alive today. Because I would be like, Joseph, I would like to see you drink one bottle of vodka. I'll give you the entire day to do it. No food. Can't eat anything. Let's see you drink a whole bottle of vodka. Let's see how that affects you. And remember, external things aren't causative. Prove it. There you go. Do it. And I got one more for you. Let's see you go out on a hot day, no shirt, no hat. Go outside and stay out there morning till night. External things aren't causative, Joseph. You should be able to handle this no problem because it's all in your mind. You're going to avoid that sunburn? You're going to avoid sunstroke? This man believed that external things are not causative. I defy you to drink a bottle of vodka and tell me external things are not causative. If you can overcome that with your mind, okay. If you can go out in the sun for an entire day, no shirt, no hat, and not get sunburned or sunstroke, then you've just proven me wrong. That's all you got to do. There it is. Prove it. Because then, now you got a convert. I'll follow you. Person didn't get sunburned. This person didn't get drunk. A bottle of vodka on an empty stomach. You don't have to chug it down. You can drink it slowly. You ever drank vodka? I can't drink vodka. I can drink a little, or I can mix it with something. You know what I like? Fireball whiskey mixed with ginger ale, 50-50. Half ginger ale, half Fireball whiskey. That tastes good. That's good stuff. I've drank Fireball whiskey straight up. You got to be careful with that. I've been drunk 3 times in my life. And the 3rd time I got drunk, I got really drunk. I was mixing shit because I had just broken up with my girlfriend. I was like, I don't know, maybe 20 something to 30, somewhere in there. And I got sick. And I was sick for like 3 days. And I said, I will never drink again. And it was at least 6 months before I even took a sip of alcohol, but I've never been drunk since. I refuse to get drunk. I've gotten a little, I'm like, okay, I've had enough. I can feel it. I've had enough. See, when you know what you would do, when you know what you want to do and how you would live, and you've imagined it, and you've internalized it, and you've felt how you would feel, and still nothing happens because, that takes time. I need to persist for months, probably. I don't know how to persist for months. I can persist for days. I can feel good for days. I know how I would live my life, and I've lived that life in my mind. And all that does is make me anxious for that life that I don't have. Grateful for the life that I do have, but it's not what I want. It's not what I would do. I wouldn't continue this if I had at least 2 million in the bank. I would change my life. Because a house in the country, a small house, if I only have 2 million, is not going to cost much at all. And I would move out there and I'd retire and I would enjoy my life. And I would practice. I would go train with Wim Hof. I would absolutely go train with Wim Hof because that is what I need. And I know that's what I need. I need him. And then I would say, can you come train when you come to America? I'll pay you to come and I'll bring friends and family members and we'll all we'll pay you. And I bet I could get them to do that. I'm dying to do this. I want this. I want to interview people. I would love to interview Ren, Elizabeth, the charismatic voice, the guys from Yes, John Anderson, Rick Wakeman, Bill Bruford, Steve Howe, even the current members of Yes, but John Anderson and the Band Geeks. I'd love to interview those guys. Just like Elizabeth loves to interview them. She does great interviews. Her interview with Ren was great. Her interview with John Anderson was great. Plus the fact that she's beautiful. She just had her 2nd child. Her first child. Oh my God, that boy. What a sweet boy. And her husband looks like a member of ZZ Top. I bet he's a really cool guy, though. He sounds like a neat guy. He handed her their kid on camera. It was so cute. Oh my God. And because I forget what happened there. But yeah, she's quite a beautiful woman, and that's a very lucky man. They're living a wonderful life, and I think that's great. See, that doesn't make me jealous. Like, no, I'm so. No, I love the life that she's living. I want that life, not her life. I would live differently, but I would live my dream life. How could I ever be depressed if I'm living my dream life? there's no way I would be depressed. And so the secret to getting that is to simply feel it now. And I'm going, yeah, but persisting up to a point I can do. I don't know how to continue it like a regular thing. That's why when I would watch those manifesting videos, it just... I can't get over the fact that, let's say I could pursue making money on YouTube, and let's say I succeeded at it, and then I retire from dog walking, and now I could go live in the country, and I'm making money on YouTube. Okay, that would be fine. Maybe that's the trigger that I need to start living that life. But the life that I want to live is not making money by making YouTube videos. Oh, I found success by making YouTube videos, and now I'm making all this money that I can live this life. That's great. I'll take it. But that's not my dream. My dream is to have more money than I will ever need, and then I make YouTube videos because I want to make YouTube videos. And I'm no longer worried about, I've never made YouTube videos to make money. I'm up to like $15 now, and I haven't gotten paid yet because I still have to wait for something that they're sending me in the mail, and then I have to get YouTube's a weird process. But even if I start making money on YouTube, even if one day I'm making like something, my ultimate reason to make YouTube videos is because I want to do it. I'm already independently wealthy. Now I don't have to worry about that. All the money that I could make on YouTube could go to help people. That's what I would do. And now if I can retire from dog walks by making money on YouTube, I'll do it. That's why I'm saying, but I don't know how to do it. I need to know how to make better quality videos, and I need to know the videos that will make money. And I ain't gonna come on here. Well, I could do a whole manifesting thing, and at the end of the video and say, now everything you just heard, I just made it all up. I thought about doing that kind of a video. Come on here like serious, and I'll show you the thing, and then at the end say, I just made that whole thing up. None of it's real. How did you feel when you were listening to it? Did you think, oh wow, this is the secret. This man understands the secret. I do understand the secret to manifesting. Believe that you already have it. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. There is no other secret. As far as I know, that's it. That's why I don't need to be told, here's how you can manifest. I already know how I can manifest. I just can't make it happen. And I'm not going to start saying affirmations. Although maybe robotic affirmations will do it. Maybe I should just start walking around, I am a multi-billionaire. I am a multi-billionaire. I am a multi-billionaire. I am a multi-billionaire. They say if you just do that it works. I could try that. Can't hurt. I am a multi-millionaire. I might as well just say I'm a multi-billionaire. If I say I'm a multi-billionaire and I only become a multi-millionaire, that's good enough. Why limit myself, right? I am a multi-billionaire. Let's see what happens. But see, am I really going to say it over and over? Because I tried doing it when I first heard about it. I'm like, okay, let's try it. I did it for about 2 days, and I was like, oh, whatever. I tried the Little Red Book on YouTube. It's neat. I tried saying the stuff that the Little Red Book told me to do, and I did it for like 3 days, and I got tired of it. I got bored. I did Joseph Murphy's affirmations. I got bored doing it. I can't internalize it in a permanent state. I can do it temporarily. Can you do it? Has anybody listening to me tried a manifesting technique and got what you wanted? And I don't mean something small. I mean something significant. Not, did it work? Did it ever work for you? Did you ever imagine something and it came true? I never got the red rubber ball that I imagined in my mind. I tried to do something small, and I imagined holding a red rubber ball in my hand. It should have manifested in my life. It never did. I scripted 2 names. Somebody told me just script a special person in your life, one or two, I forget what they said, 1 or 2 people that you would like to hear from, and just script their names. And I said, okay, I did. I wrote them down. Nothing happened. I've made claims that this is going to happen. This person's going to contact me. And I resolved it in my mind, this is going to happen. No one's contacted me yet. There are, well, we'll call my family one person. And then there are 3 other people that I'd really like, well, one I want to meet, and the other that I would like to hear from. There are 3 women from my past that I'd really like to reconnect with. At least 3. One is my wife, my ex-wife. One is my first love. And the other is the first girl that I lived with. First girl that I had sex with. I would love to reconnect with all of them. Friendship for the other 2, obviously. Because I miss them. I miss them being in my life. I want them in my life. I do. Because they were special to me. They hold a special place in my heart and always will. And I hope they're okay. I hope that I'm concerned about one. I'm not as concerned about one of them. I'm a little concerned about the other. I hope she's okay. I don't know. I haven't heard from her in, 30 years, 20 years, 30 years, something like that. The other one, my first love, I talked to her a couple years ago, and she said, yeah, she's just real busy right now. She's doing things, and she couldn't, she wasn't all that interested in talking because she's living her life, and she's busy. She's doing other stuff. I'm no longer in her life. But we were friends for a long time. And it would be nice if, we could all get together. It would be great. I have a lot of friends that I wish I could get back together with. People that I knew, people that I played D&D with. And it would be fun. It'd be great to reconnect. We did once. Our old D&D group got together and played some D&D. My first love was one of those people. She was there playing. We were playing D&D. And that was nice. And I thought we were going to stay in touch. Everything looked like it was okay. Like we were getting along great, her and I. We were talking and chatting and everything seemed great. So, lost contact. When you lose contact, you lose contact. I got one guy that's living in Dakota somewhere. One guy's in Nebraska. A friend of mine I went to college with is down in Little Rock, Arkansas. He just retired. Don't know if he'll be coming up here. But I would love to do different things on YouTube, different things. Well, my art gallery. Gotta build my dad's art gallery. I don't gotta. I wanna. I want his art in a permanent home on display for the public to see so the whole world can come to see his art if they want to. Whether he becomes a world famous artist or not is not that important to me. It would be cool, but just to have his gallery and it's done. And it's like, there you go, Dad. There's your stuff. Mom's up there. We got a little section with all of Mom's stuff. Her TV show, all the pictures, who she was, who you were. There you go. You've been immortalized, and my mission is done there. And then the rest has to do with my family and friends and what I want to do there. And there's a lot of things that I want to do, and I can't do them. I have to live this meaningless existence. It's a meaningless existence, but most people's lives is a meaningless existence. You're here and then you're gone. And you will never know who they were or what they did because they're insignificant. Everybody knows who Elton John was. Oh, he lived a meaningful life. Well, that's just because we know him because he became famous from his music. And if you don't know who Elton John is, well, then I'm old. But there's, for every one person that we've heard of, there's at least 1 million, probably 10 million, that you know nothing about, whose lives are not all that exciting. They went to work, they raised a family, maybe they got divorced, maybe, or maybe they didn't even get married, maybe they didn't have kids, maybe they did, and they maybe died in their 50s or 60s or 70s, or maybe some of them lived to be 80s and 90s, but they're just people who lived a life. And it's fine. A lot of them probably lived a very boring life. I don't need to go down in history as somebody who did something significant. That's not what I'm talking about. I just want freedom. I just want to be free. So that when I get up tomorrow morning, I could sit on my ass for the whole day and just watch TV and just sit there and go, I don't feel like doing anything today. I'm just going to sit here and bleh. Or do something super productive because I want to. Freedom. That's all I want. And $2 million at least gives me a lot of that freedom. And not having that money means I don't have that freedom. I have to walk dogs tomorrow. I don't have to, but I'm not going to stop because that's my sole source of income. Now, if I make money on YouTube, then I'll stop walking dogs and I'll just do YouTube for a living. But now I'm doing YouTube for a living. And I don't want to do YouTube for a living. I want to be financially independent so I can do YouTube for fun. Everything I would do would be for fun. Pool parties, social gatherings, go to a dance, go camping, go to Hawaii, go to Disney World. My wife and I, we went to Disney World. Shouldn't have. Couldn't really have afforded it, but we spent the money. We went there a couple times. Before she was married, when she was living at home, she went every year with her girlfriend. Every year they went to Disney World. It's her favorite place in the world. And we would do that every year. If I was independently wealthy, we'd absolutely go there every year. We were on the cruise. The cruise is great. Financially, it was a dumb thing to do. See, if I had the financial independence, I would go on those cruises and I would travel. We went to Hawaii one time. I would travel. I'd go to Rome, Italy, you name it, Switzerland, Finland. I want to see all the countries. I want to go to every one. And if I had the money, I would. I'd travel. Not all the time. I'd mostly stay home because I would love my home. I love living in my dream home in the country. I would love just being there. I'd love every moment of every day, even if I'm just going to sit on my butt all day and do nothing. Because what are you doing today? I'm not doing a damn thing. I'm just going to sit and chill. Because that's what I want to do today. And tomorrow I'm going to do 50 things. And the next day I'm going to do 2 things. Whatever, it doesn't matter. That's the point. It doesn't matter. You're free. And we could have that right now in the entire world. Take all the third world countries. You could have it for all of them too. Not just America. We could have this in the entire world right now. And people don't know that. How can you not know that? How can you not know that we right now, for at least 50 years, have had the technology and the resources to create paradise on earth for every single person? If you don't know that, do some research. Look up Buckminster Fuller. You want a name? Buckminster Fuller. Read his quotes. He died in the 1980s. Read what he said. He invented what's called the geodesic dome. I only know this because somebody told me about him and I looked him up and did some research on him. There's a YouTube video where he's talking. It's called Bucky. They called him Bucky. The military took his geodesic dome I'm assuming he made a lot of money on it. I don't know. But he said back then what I'm saying to you right now. There's no need for this. We could have paradise right now. It's stupid what we're doing. This is insanity. Imagine if 1,000 people lived on an island and they had the resources and the technology to create paradise on that island for all 1,000 people, but instead only 10 people lived in paradise. Okay? 500 were like, hanging out, doing okay, and the rest were all like barely surviving. And you'd sit there and you look at those people and think, what are these people doing? What the hell are they doing? Got 10 people over here living in palaces, and you got people over here like starving to death. What are you doing? What is wrong with you people? That's what we would say if we saw these people on an island doing this. Why haven't advanced beings come down here and said, what the hell are you doing? Well, maybe they have, and they were like, screw this, let's just take over the place. They'll never know we're here. They're probably, if I had to guess, if aliens are here, I would guess they're at the bottom of the ocean, because we would never know. We would never find them in the bottom of the ocean. Never. Did you see the movie The Abyss? That's where they're hiding, in the abyss. If highly advanced beings are here and have been here, and there's lots of evidence that suggests they have been, and maybe they are, then they're incognito. And maybe they're the ones running the world right now and we don't even realize it. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I have no clue. But it's possible. The odds that there's no life out there other than us, I find that hard to believe, don't you? I used to say this to people. All the ghost encounters, you know how many ghost encounters there have been? Lots of people claim to have seen ghosts, right? I said to my friend, if only one ghost story is true, just one, all of them are fake, but one of them was true, that would prove that ghosts exist. That would prove that ghosts are real. He goes, what? He didn't get it at first. I'm like, that's all you need. If one alien encounter was real, that would prove that aliens are real. I saw something that I can't explain in the sky. Have you? We were at Yellowstone Lake in Wisconsin camping, my family, fishing on the dock, me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. And it's nighttime, and we're fishing on the dock for bullhead, bottom fishing. My brother looks up and he goes, what's that up there? And we looked up, and the star went like this. Okay, my finger is the star. It was like this, and then it went like this, like this, and then it went like this, and then it just disappeared. And we went, what the hell was that? It made a Z. And he goes, holy cow. He goes, I think that was a UFO. I'm like, but we couldn't make any sense of it. It's crazy. But we all saw it. It's just this little star and went doom, 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 and then gone. Like, that's not a satellite. Satellites don't go like that. Like, I've seen satellites go across the sky in the night, and at first it freaked me out. I'm like, whoa, what's that? Oh, it's a satellite. Because I thought, something's moving up there. Oh, yeah, no, that's a satellite. It looks like a star in the night sky. It's crazy when you see those satellites. You in the city, you can't see this stuff because it's the city. You go out in the country, and the night sky is beautiful, man. Every night I'd be out there looking up at the sky. It's wonderful to live in the country. The air is cleaner. It's where we should be living. And I'm not living the life that I want to live. And I can't create that life because I lack the resources to create it. And people wonder why I was depressed. Growing up, my life was wonderful. I had a mom and a dad who loved me, an older brother who I occasionally saw. He's 7 years older than me, so he was in his own world. I saw him. We at times played, not much, but a little. But my mom loved me to death, and my dad was great, and he'd listen to music, we'd play. I was playing the cornet at 4, I was playing it. We lived in a coach house. He had a 3-flat that he owned that he rented out, and we lived in the coach house, and we had a swimming pool. I should show that picture of the swimming pool. It was great. It was round. It was in the backyard. We had a great setup. He was living his life there, and then he moves. just wrecked my brother. I'm like 6 years old when we moved, and I was like, "Oh, we're moving, okay, whatever." I don't know. And my brother was like, God, and he was mad. He's like 13. This is his life. We had a swimming pool. We had a yard, a swimming pool. We had a jungle gym. And he moves to another place, and we don't have any of that now. Now, my life was fine, but I can only imagine how much better it would have been had we just stayed where we were. But he obviously I'm guessing he ran out of money. I don't know what happened. My brother doesn't even know why he moved. He goes, I have no idea why he moved. Because we were living in heaven. That was heaven for us. And I don't know the circumstances. I wish I knew the circumstances behind it. I wish I could have stopped him, because that property would have been worth so much money had we stayed there. Oh my God. We were in Lincoln Park in Chicago, and it's all gone. What's there now is the building that he had is gone. If I can find the picture of the swimming pool, the backyard, I'll try to link it in the description. If it's not there, I just can't find it. We used to have, it's probably there still on the website that my brother made of our dad's art, tmeineke.com. You might be able to find it there, family photos or something. I don't know. But I'll look and see if I can find it. I'm over an hour, but I don't care. I don't care. If people... Nobody has to listen to the entire video. You only listen to something that you want to listen to. There's no point in being concerned about I wasn't even going to I wasn't going to make a video. I'm like, nah, I'm done, because nobody's listening. What am I doing? I'm talking about nothing. But I feel like talking about stuff and expressing this stuff. And I am looking for someone who would like to work with me. Whether you're in Chicago or we can do it remotely somehow. And I mean anything. I mean podcast, live stream. There's a couple, Cinebinge, they're called Cinebinge. There's a crazy name. They do movie reactions, and they live in separate places. They're just friends. And their channel's very successful. Cinebinge, Cinebinge. It's a guy and a girl. They're fun. She did a collab with Popcorn in Bed. They watched the movie Hachi together. The girl and Cassie from Popcorn in Bed. That was really good. And it was really nice to see that. I'm like, oh, you didn't include your friend, the guy. I forget his name now. I forget their names. But I like them. They have a fun channel. They really, I thought they were a couple, but they're not. I thought they just I thought they were like dating, like boyfriend and girlfriend, but they each had their own place, and nope, they're just friends apparently. But that's a fun channel. They do good reactions. They're watching the Star Trek movies now, so I'm enjoying that. Those Star Trek movies are so silly. They were good, but they were silly. Man, I wish I wish Stargate was still going. Stargate was my favorite sci-fi series. I loved the Star Trek series. I loved Picard. I never saw the Picard series, but I loved Jean-Luc Picard, TNG, The Next Generation. I really enjoyed those shows, but I love Stargate. Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis. Did not get into Stargate Universe, although there were a couple episodes that I saw. I was starting to like it. I finally started seeing what some people saw, because in the beginning I did not like it at all. I thought it was garbage. But Stargate SG-1, oh man. Amanda Tapping we all had a crush on her. How could you not have a crush on Amanda Tapping? It's like the perfect woman. No, she was great. Just great. And there was someone else, but it doesn't matter. The SG-1 was great. Yeah, Stargate Atlantis had a lot of great people. Great cast. Great. God, that was a great spinoff. Wow, that was amazing. Stargate Atlantis was something else. How many of you have watched The Honeymooners? I was thinking about the shows that I loved to watch growing up. Dick Van Dyke, The Andy Griffith Show, The Honeymooners, Monty Python every Sunday night, The Muppet Show, we loved that. Everybody Loves Raymond would eventually come on later in life, and I loved Everybody Loves Raymond. And finally, The Big Bang Theory, that was phenomenal. I'm trying to think what other shows were really great. I mean, Hogan's Heroes was fun. I know there were others, and I just can't think of them. Leave It to Beaver. I mean, I watched some episodes of that. Yeah, and it was good. I can see the attraction. All in the Family. Was it All in the Family? Those were the days. However that went. That was a pretty good show. I mean, it had its moments. MASH was a good TV series. That was a good TV series. How about the cartoons that we have today versus the cartoons that I had growing up as a kid? Talk about night and day. Talk about, show me everything that's wrong with America, and I'll show you the cartoons we had in the 60s and 70s versus the utter crap that we have today. God awful, just the stuff we have today makes Barney look like that was some good stuff there. That Barney thing you guys used to watch, because when we first saw Barney, we were like, oh my God. But I finally saw it. I remember watching Bear in the Big Blue House or something like that. That was a fun thing. Blue's Clues, that was fun, because we had kids, so you're gonna watch this stuff. And Blue's Clues was fun. But I'm sorry. The cartoons in our day, it's night and day. They were so good. They were so good. They would never play that stuff today. They're still playing it on MeTV. You can still watch it. Oh, it's so violent. Oh, give me a break. People think that children shouldn't watch the Three Stooges because they might poke each other's eyes out. Well, if you're not smart enough to teach your kids not to poke each other's eyes out, then yeah, don't let them watch Three Stooges, because they might try it. Because when people met the Three Stooges, they would try slapping them and poking them. Adults did this to them. They couldn't believe it. I saw the movie about the Three Stooges, and these people would come up to them and just start slapping them. Like, it was funny. Like, what are you people doing? And they poked him in the eye. It's like, can't you see that he's doing it right here? You can't see that? That's how he did it. They didn't, it was all, slapstick is, you can slap. It's very easy to make that look like you're slapping hard, and you're not. But the Three Stooges were, I lived to watch Three Stooges as a kid. And today it's very inappropriate for children to watch that. That's very bad for children. Are you out of your mind? That's phenomenal comedy. Curly was the first breakdancer. He basically invented breakdancing, which I didn't even think about it at the time. But somebody pointed that out. I'm like, oh my God, he's breakdancing. Now, nothing like they can do today. It's insane what they can do today. It's not even, I think they're aliens. They're so damn good at it. I really do. I was like, are these human beings who can do this stuff? But the Three Stooges was comedy gold. Laurel and Hardy. Before the Three Stooges, if you want to go way back, go back and watch Laurel and Hardy stuff. That stuff was great. And their cartoons Bugs Bunny, Woody Woodpecker, Popeye, the Jetsons, the Flintstones. I could go on and on. There were so many good cartoons. Hell, Magilla Gorilla was a fun cartoon to watch. And today's garbage that children watch, they think that's appropriate? I mean, I don't know if it does any harm. I'd be scared to think of what it's doing to their brain. We had a ball watching Foghorn Leghorn. That's hilarious stuff. That was fun. Oh, but it's so violent. It's a cartoon. Did you not watch Roger Rabbit? Did you see all the violence in the Roger Rabbit with the cartoon? None of us went outside and did that to each other. None of us kids went outside and played. We ran around and played all the time. Nobody went up to each other and started going, I'm going to blow your head off. The cartoons that we watched did not cause children to go out and do violent things. Yet we have all kinds of violence in the world today. Horrific, horrific violence in this country. And, well, we're still watching those cartoons. It's on MeTV. So that must be what's causing it, right? People are afraid of their children watching the Three Stooges. It's unreal. It's just ridiculous. I couldn't wait to watch the next episode of the Three Stooges. The Little Rascals. That's the other one. God, that was a great, not a cartoon. God, that was a great TV show. The Little Rascals with Spanky and Alfalfa and Froggy and, was it Darla? Poor Alfalfa. He died in like his 40s. He did not live a good life. Sad what happened to a lot of them. Sad because they had, Spanky I think was probably the most successful. He was on the Carson Show, Spanky. I don't know if anyone else made the Carson Show. Spanky did. It was sad. Stymie and Buckwheat, little black kids back then, you know. Can only imagine how hard it was for them. Eddie Murphy used to do a thing with Buckwheat. That was great. Remember Eddie Murphy's stand-up comedy stuff that he would do? And on Saturday Night Live, he did something with Buckwheat. That was great. God, Eddie Murphy was a genius talent. When he played Mushu on Mulan, let alone the donkey on Shrek, I mean, Eddie Murphy was just phenomenal. So amazing. Such an amazing talent. What was your show? What was your cartoon? If people don't answer these questions, it's okay. I want to talk to people. That's why I said I'd love to do interviews where we chat, whether it's live stream or a recording. I don't care. Hell, we can video chat on Messenger and not put it on YouTube. You want to do that? I'll video chat with you. That'd be great. We could get to know each other. It'd be fun. Guy or girl, it doesn't matter. I've video chatted with people before. It's fun. It's kind of neat to video chat with people. It's kind of wild. Yeah, I'm like, you wonder if people are watching us, if other people are like spying on us. It's like, yeah, we better not do anything inappropriate. But you got to wonder, you know, because how many people video chat today? I mean, a lot. That happens a lot now. But I've done it a little. So I'm willing to do that. You want to chat with me off YouTube? You want to talk to me on the phone? I've talked to at least two people on the phone that I met on YouTube. One's a guy, he lives in Canada. The other's a girl. She lives in St. Louis. We've talked on the phone. We chatted, got to know each other. We're Facebook friends. It's all cool. It's all good. I love that. And the guy in Canada was coming through Chicago. He was doing some bike race. He's got this really amazing bicycle, and he was driving to do this race. He stopped and he goes, "Hey, are you around?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm going to be there in a couple hours. Would you like to meet?" And I went, "Sure, come on over." He came over. We've already chatted, you know. It was great. We hung out for a little while. Weren't you scared? No, because I already knew him. It wasn't like I hadn't already met. If we had not met, oh no, I wouldn't let him into my apartment. I would have met him somewhere neutral, and we would have hung out there. That's what you do. That's how you meet somebody. You know, not that stupid. But I mean, I knew it was going to be fine. And if that girl that I met ever was in Chicago, or if I'm ever in St. Louis, we'll meet. We'll go out to dinner. We're just friends. There's nothing else there. There's just friendship. It's a cool girl. I like her. We're not dating. We're not going to start dating. We're not interested in that. There's no connection there. We're just friends. Isn't that weird? We can just be friends, a guy and a girl? Yeah, it's perfectly normal. If I was interested, I'd let her know. And if she was interested, she'd let me know. And we're not. She's like a sister to me now. The moment you connect as a sister, that ends that. I met my brother's girlfriend the first day, and we're hanging out, and she's a gamer. He's not. He's not a gamer. She's a gamer, meaning she's into gaming. She plays Dungeons and Dragons. And I was just like, man, this is wild. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I'm like, she's my sister, because it's my brother's girlfriend, and she's just, that's it. And that the moment that happens in your brain, all I see is my sister, and that's it. There's no going back once that happens. It's a weird feeling, but it's like, yeah, it's cool. So what this world could be versus what this world is like my life. What my life could be versus what my life is. And I don't like the way this world is. It's a lot worse than what my life is. If I was homeless, that would be more similar to our world today versus what our world should be. But then again, there's a lot of people living a phenomenal life on this world right now. So I guess I'm kind of in the middle of that. So maybe this is the more accurate comparison. But to all of you who have been fairly regularly chatting with me in the comments, men or women, if you would like to do anything, live stream, make a video together, non-live stream, messenger, chat, video chat or regular chat, phone, I'm open for any of it. I like to talk. I can hang out and talk on the phone with you or chat with you or video chat with you very easily. Very easily. Now, if we don't connect, then we won't talk for very long. If it's just not, the vibe isn't there. Like the girl that I talked to in St. Louis, I mean, we were just chilling on the phone. I said, this is great. I can't believe we met. This is really, really cool. And it's like, yeah. Because we were both big Yes fans. She loves Yes. I love Yes. And we just talked music and we talked other stuff. And she's just really cool. And you go, well, don't you want to date her? No. And she don't want to date me. No. Mm-mm. We like each other. We do. We like each other. But that's it. You just know. When you know, you know. If there was a connection, then we would have talked. And there was no connection. Can't get into it. It's just it was real obvious for us. We didn't have. There was nothing to worry about. There was nothing to consider. It's like my brother's girlfriend. We're never going to get together either. That's never going to happen. Not a chance. Great girl. Cool girl. I like her. I can hang out with her anytime. Nothing will ever come of it. Nothing. Not even an inkling of a possibility. Now, if she wasn't his girlfriend, then maybe something could have possibly. Would it have? I don't know. So I can't even like think like that because I know her as the way I know her. So I don't think like that. But I could see it that it maybe could have been different had I met her first. Maybe. It's not absolutely. No, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Not sure at all. It's like I'm just draw a blank when it comes to that. And it's the same with you girls. Okay? I have no clue if there's any interest. The ones who are married, there's no interest. Nope. Friendship, 100%. If you're single, I don't know. I have no clue. No clue. I'm not pursuing anything. I'm not. If you think I am, you're wrong. I'm not. Could I? Maybe. I don't know. If we got to know each other better, if we were both interested, sure, it's possible. But I'm not. That's not why I'm trying to connect with any of you, any more than I would be willing to connect with a guy on here. It's friendship. If anything else forms later, fine, maybe. That's not even the thing. The thing going on here is connection, friendship. There's no need for anything beyond that. And it's sad that I have to go out of my way to explain that. But you kind of do today. I guess we had to do that back then too. But with technology, everything's different now. But we had technology in the 80s and 90s. We had a lot of technology, Yeah. I guess I shouldn't make these super long videos. Maybe I should stop making super long videos. I don't know. If anyone's interested in any of that stuff, hey, message me on Messenger or just leave a comment saying, yeah, how can I chat with you? We could maybe exchange emails. I already have somebody's email. So that person, if you want to email me, feel free. But whatever. Not, To the person who's coming out with something and they're very excited about it, I'm looking forward to seeing it. That they know that I'm referring to them. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't know if I'll purchase it, but I'm interested. I'm curious. So good luck with that. I hope it's a big thing for you. I hope it works out great for you. That'd be cool. It sounds interesting, but I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Not sure about what to do with your books, but your books are for women, so I don't think there's any need for me to purchase one. I don't think so. I think you said something to the effect of your books are for women. Something to that effect. I could have gotten that wrong. I don't need to bring up anyone else. There is another person that I've talked to quite regularly, and I would love to talk with you more too. And just, you know who you are, because we've talked plenty. And that would be great. And I would love if I could get more of you to listen to my narration of my fantasy story. Even though it's D&D, it is a fantasy story. So if you like fantasy, you might like it. Is there any way I can get anyone else to listen to it? At least the first video? And then give me your thoughts? Like, no, that wasn't for me. Because then fine. No problem at all. I'll be sad that it wasn't interesting to you. Of course, I hope you find it interesting and listen to it. That's the other thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about my book. I want to talk about D&D and everything. There's nothing that I don't. There's nothing that I don't enjoy talking about. No, that's not true. There's a lot that I enjoy talking about. I'm not just a one-track mind. Like all I want to talk about is Dungeons and Dragons. No, there's a lot of things that I enjoy talking about. Sports too, but I'm not up to speed with sports. The only sports I'm somewhat up to speed with are the Bears, because I still enjoy watching the Bears somewhat. Not like I used to. I'm very disillusioned with corporate sports, because corporate sports is destroying everything that was wonderful about sports back in the day, when it was just a wonderful, well, I shouldn't say it was wonderful. There were a lot of terrible things going on throughout the history of sports, because human beings can be awful. But man, the sports are out of control now. Really, it's really bad. I still enjoy watching Michigan football because I grew up a Wolverines fan, because my dad went to the University of Michigan, so we grew up watching Michigan. A little bit with the basketball team. I can watch a little. And the Bears. But I used to watch the White Sox. I don't care one bit about them now. Not just because they're terrible. I lost interest in the Sox not too long after they won the World Series. It wasn't long after that I lost. Maybe 5 years later, 10 years later, somewhere around there. I was done. I don't watch sports anymore. Bores me to tears. I'm amazed that people still watch the Cubs and are still interested in the Cubs. It's like, really? This is still important to you? Because I could care less what happens to the Cubs and the Sox, or the Bulls, or the Blackhawks. The Bears still hold some of my interest, but I really don't care, because it's such a stupid organization. It's such a terrible organization. They're dumb. But most of these organizations are dumb, because they're driven by money, not by the love of the game. The whole thing is so corrupt. It's just, sports is ruined. Sports is all gambling, and I think a lot of these games are fixed because of the gambling. Depending on where the betting goes will determine the outcome of games. And I think that's been pretty much shown to the point where I feel that a lot of these games are rigged. Can't prove it, but I don't bother watching. I don't care anymore about the corporate sports, because I don't trust any of it. Because it's not done for the love of the game, for the enjoyment of the game. It's done because this is money, and this is our business, and this is our livelihood, and all we want is more. I just want enough. I don't know about you. I just want enough so that I don't have to work. It's not that I don't want to work. It's that I don't want to have to work. That's the difference for me. That's the whole difference. If I want to walk dogs, I'll go walk dogs. I either walk dogs or I'm going to end up homeless. And that's what I hate about it. And that's why I want out of it. And right now, one possibility is YouTube, which could get me out of it, but that's still not I don't know how realistic that is. What do I have to do to make really good money on YouTube so that I can stop walking dogs? Because right now that would seem to be my best shot. Because I'd much rather make a living making YouTube videos than walking dogs. Because I'm 63. Let's go ahead 20 years. Now I'm 83. I'd much rather be making good money on YouTube than walking dogs at 83. Do you see where I'm going with this? So, yeah, the problem is I don't want YouTube to be, well, it's my only source of it. It's the only way I can live. Well, but that's better than walking dogs. So I'll take it. But ideally, that's not what I want to do YouTube. I don't mind making money on YouTube. I'm for making money on YouTube. I want everybody to make money on YouTube. YouTube. And if I can make 10 to 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 a month on YouTube, I'll take it, of course. Because then I can retire from dog walks and I'll have a YouTube business. But ideally, I don't want to do YouTube because I need the money. Ideally, I do YouTube because I want to do YouTube. I already have the money. Surely you understand the difference that I'm explaining here. I'm not saying I would rather make money on YouTube than doing what I'm doing now. I would rather make money on YouTube so that I can stay home and do what I want. Thank God I can make money walking dogs and not having to work for some boss or for some company. Thank God I'm able to do this, that I found this, that it fell into my lap. And I got lucky and things were provided for me in mystical and magical ways that I can't explain. But I lost my family. And I would take that, if I could go back in time. I'm going right away, right now. If the way was provided that I could go back in time and prevent this, I wouldn't even think about it. I'd go immediately. I wouldn't even hesitate. One day, I hope that I can be more specific. I don't know if that day will ever come. If that day ever comes, you'll know. And I'll be more specific. There's nothing I wouldn't give, though, to be able to go back in time and prevent things from happening the way they did. But there are other points even further back that I would also like to go back to and fix. Can't. As far as I know, we can't do it. I really wonder if there's a way to do it. I really wonder, with all the movies I've watched about time travel, you can't help but wonder, is there a way? Neville Goddard calls it the law of revision. Redo the day. Go back over the day and change it. He says that's a practice you should do every day. You should revise every day. And revise it so that you fix everything that you would do differently. At the end of the day, Neville says we should go back through the day and revise everything that we would want to revise. And that will transform your life. So that's what I needed to be doing all this time. Just revising each day as I go. I don't bother doing that. I say to myself, I mean, I already do that in one sense. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done... Yeah, I mean, we do that a little bit anyway. Everybody does that a little bit. But I'm going to specifically go over every instance of the day and think about how I should have done it, what I should have said. On the bad things in my life, I've gone over them and revised them and did the right thing and said the right thing and worked it all out, and it was a much better day. But nothing changed in my life. If I could go back and fix the days, I'd go back. But there's a lot of days I'd go back to and redo. There's at least 30, probably, if not 100, that I'd redo. If I could. If only life worked that way. Maybe it does. Maybe when we die, we get a redo. And maybe we somehow know, like, here's your chance to redo it. Don't mess it up this time. Oh, that would be good. So how old would I be? Would I be born again? Would I go through the whole being born? Would I start in my mother's womb? The moment I die, boom, you're back in your mother's womb and you have no, it's like, would I know that this is the second time that I'm going to live this life? Would I have knowledge of future? Would that explain why there's some billionaires in the world because they've got it all worked out because they've already lived? No, it doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. There's no way. I mean, maybe a few people were given a second chance and they knew what was going to happen, and they became super, super wealthy people because they knew what to do. There was a movie, I forget the name of that movie, with Dennis Quaid, where the guy ended up with his car's license plate said Yahoo. I'm like, yeah, today it would say Google. It wouldn't say Yahoo. But Yahoo was huge. I don't even know if Yahoo exists anymore. America Online is, I think, gone. MySpace, gone. Those things were huge. Imagine having a company that successful and now they're gone, replaced by Facebook and YouTube. Oh, Facebook for the most part. That's basically what knocked them all out of business. Facebook wiped out MySpace and America Online. Pretty much. And I'm told that Facebook buys any company that threatens to compete against them. Look at this wonderful old age line that I've got forming here. I hate all these old age lines. I hate all this stuff. I don't know about you. I don't like them. Oh, it's character. It looks, yeah, they're okay. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe there's a little character, but I'd rather be 25. I don't care what anybody says. But it's not as bad as I thought it would be, being in my 60s. But it maybe at some point, if I end up like this, I don't want to live like that. I hope that never happens to me, where you're practically an invalid. But I don't like all this old age crap. I don't like this. It's okay. It's not the worst. I could be a lot worse off than I am. Sure. Yeah, I know. I get that. Do you struggle with what you want versus what you have? Does that frustrate you? The odds that anybody's listening to this for 1 hour and 50 minutes and is now going to answer that question, I don't think there's going to be anybody listening this long. But do you? Are you frustrated with life? Do you wish you had certain things that you don't? And do you wish you could get those things? And is that why you're watching manifesting videos? If watching manifesting videos has ever worked for you, could you let me know? I'd love to hear what manifesting video worked for you. I thought I had figured it out. Just believe that I already have it, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, persist in the assumption, and that's it. There's nothing else I need to know. Now that I know, I'm just going to do that, and everything's going to be great. And maybe that will be all I need to know. Because I've claimed that that's a present tense reality right now. And I was doing robotic affirmations today because I thought, why not? Let's just do it. So I just started saying it today. I mean, if robotic affirmations makes me independently wealthy, I'm going to do robotic affirmations. And I'll come on here and tell you, hey, I got rich because I said I'm a multi-billionaire over and over and over and over and over and over. And all of a sudden I started becoming rich. All of a sudden money's coming into my life like, whoa, what's going on? But will I say robotic affirmations later tonight, tomorrow, the next day? Or will I just do it a little bit and then I'm done? I don't know about you, but it's hard for me to be consistent. It really is hard. I struggle with it a lot. Because I'm frustrated. Because my life isn't what I want it to be. But isn't that most people? Wouldn't most people kill to have just $1 million? I want $2 million free and clear because I could live the rest of my life on $2 million free and clear. Because the house I'd buy in the country, if I had $2 million free and clear, would be a small house. And it wouldn't cost much money. Because in the country, property values are low. And then I'd pay it off. I pay off my car. My car's paid for. My house is paid for. All I have are my property taxes and utilities. Gas for my car, which wouldn't be much because I wouldn't drive much. Whereas now I drive every day for dog walks. I put on a lot of miles on my car, at least 50 a day. Well, I don't know about at least 50 a day. Maybe 30 to 60 depending on the day. But I don't need anything else to be happy. I have all that I need. And I would have the financial freedom. Would I have a swimming pool in my backyard? Probably, if I could. Would I have a pool table? I would like to have a pool table in my basement. Yeah, but I don't need it. And I don't need a swimming pool. I would give a tank to do ice baths like Wim Hof does. Oh, I'd get that. I'm absolutely going to have a tank that I can take an ice bath in every day. And I would take an ice bath every day, which, by the way, would also transform my mind and body. That's the magic, is the ice bath. Cold shower is good. A cold shower a day keeps the doctor away, but an ice bath is king. You don't know what you're missing. I would get out of my bathtub with the ice in it and like, man, I feel good. But that's one, you got to spend $10 to get the ice. I got to haul it up here, which is effectively the 4th floor. And then I got to pour it in my bathtub, and I can't get my knees in. I can get everything but I can get all my legs in, but then I'm up. So if I lay down, my knees come up out of the bathtub. So it's, it's pretty good. But boy, that ice bath. Once you're used to it, I sat in it for 4 to 6 minutes. Just laid in it. And your whole body heals. Your whole body is electrified. And you get out of the water and you're like, wow. You feel amazing. Try it. Watch the ice baths on YouTube. Wim Hof ice bath. Just click that. You'll see it. And watch Thom Hartmann's Two Santa Claus. You won't believe what the Republicans did. How they made this crap up. Supply side economics. It's the stupid, most stupid economic theory I've ever heard in my life, and we're practicing it like it's real. It's imaginary. It doesn't work. It's not how supply and demand work. Everybody knows how supply and demand works. There's a demand for a product, so you order that product because the demand is high. So the price goes up. When the demand goes down, the price comes down, and you don't order, you get rid of that. That's no longer selling. That's basic economics. Supply side economics, Reaganomics, which has been practiced since Reagan, teaches the opposite. That's all I'm going to say about it. This country is so stupid. Republicans are economic morons, or they're just economic con artists, and they're screwing people by lying to them. They know they made this crap up. They know this is bullshit, what they're spewing and selling you. There's no way the majority of Americans are falling for what's going on right now in this country. There's no way the majority are okay with what's going on. I would be shocked if more than 20% of this country agrees with what's going on. They tell me his ratings are like around 40. Bull crap that 40% of Americans are okay with this. If 40% of Americans are okay with this, then we are the dumbest country on the planet. 20%'s insane. How can 20% of America agree with what's going on right now? You can't be this stupid. See, the pundits on YouTube and the news, they're selling it. They're making money. So they're going to continue to promote this bullshit just like they did with Reagan. And they're still doing it with Reagan. They're still calling him the greatest president ever. It's hilarious. Reagan was a puppet. They conned Reagan. He fell for it. Well, there I go again. Oh man, there I go. You know, what are you going to do? Oh well. Robin Williams pointed that out. You ever notice every time somebody says something to Reagan, he always starts going, well. He begins every sentence, well. I loved when we had Robin Williams to talk about the politics of the day, because the stuff he said about Reagan was so spot on. And George Carlin was great too. We need people like that today, and we don't have them. Jon Stewart's okay. Pretty good. We need a George Carlin and a Robin Williams to wake this country up. It's sad that we don't have them. I can't believe that celebrities aren't getting together and saying, we've got to put an end to this. I'd put an end to it if I had the power. I'd try. I'd go after these bastards so hard if I had the power. But then maybe they'd kill me. And that would be the end of that. So maybe I wouldn't do it. Maybe screw that. They'll kill me if I start telling the truth about them. What do? Better to just live your life. Or is it? Or do you finally have to put your foot in the, put your stake in the ground and say, no, here's where I stand. Screw you people. You people are sick. You people are evil. You people are bastards. You people are con artists. You people are scum. And I'm not gonna stand around and let you get away with the crimes that you're getting away with. No one could have gotten away with these crimes just 20 years ago. No one. Crimes in broad daylight. Horrific things. And a president who is so stupid, and they talk about him like he's this great man. And he's literally the opposite of everything they say he is. And if you want the truth, just listen to his sister. She's been telling the truth about her brother from day one. I mean, if you want the truth, listen to her. Listen to Mary Trump. She'll tell you the truth. Do you know who Ann Coulter is? I'm over 2 hours now, but who cares? You know who Ann Coulter is, right? Far right-wing commentator. Don't like her one bit. She's a nut. She's an absolute nut. She wrote a book when Trump, first term, In Trump We Trust. That's blasphemy. See, they're such hypocrites. They talk about their Christianity and their God, and they condemn the left with our hypocrisy. And then she writes a book called In Trump We Trust. If somebody wrote a book called In Obama We Trust, oh my God, the right would have lost their mind. But Ann Coulter wrote In Trump We Trust. You know what Ann Coulter says about Trump now? It's on YouTube. It's in a short. It's a short. Type in Ann Coulter, Trump, stupid. You know what she said? She said, when I wrote that book, In Trump We Trust, I did not realize how profoundly stupid he is. Ann Coulter said that. Why would Ann Coulter say that Trump is profoundly stupid unless he is actually profoundly stupid? Why would she say that? She wrote a book called In Trump We Trust. She was making money. I'm shocked that Trump hasn't had her deported. Profoundly stupid. I said, if Ann Coulter says that Donald Trump, who she practically worshipped, is profoundly stupid, then I got a feeling he's profoundly stupid. Destiny, he's on the left, a guy calls himself Destiny, said, show me one video. He said this to the person he was talking to. Where Trump is talking intelligently about anything. He said, show me one. You can't. Because there is no video of Trump talking intelligently about anything. And the guy was, oh, well, that you're making a mighty big claim there. I'm like, what do you, he just show me one. Well, those are some, I don't know about that. Like, why can't you just say, yeah, you're right. There is none. Because there is none. Because he's stupid. The President of the United States is stupid. GW was pretty stupid. Obama isn't stupid. Clinton isn't stupid. I wouldn't say Reagan was stupid, but Reagan was, he was just a guy. I think George W. Sr., I don't know if he was stupid, but his son was pretty dumb. I mean, he's, I don't think he's like dumb stupid. I think Trump is dumber than GW. I think if we gave Trump an IQ test, it would be about a 90. Just a guess. And that's not like, horrible, but that's low. He calls Kamala Harris low IQ. Kamala Harris does not have a low IQ. She may be a ditz with her word salad crap that she's done and her cackling, which annoys all of us. But I would have taken Kamala over Trump any day of the week. I have lots of issues with Kamala. She's not my first choice, but I'll take her over Trump. But I would take Ted Cruz over Trump. And Ted Cruz is a mealy-mouthed, phony, fraud, man-child, coward, vile, pathetic piece of garbage. And I'd take him over Trump any day of the week. It would be a step up if we could install Ted Cruz as president right now. That would be an improvement. And I loathe Ted Cruz. If we could put Biden back in, even though he's half not there anymore, that would be an improvement. Big improvement. But Biden's, anyway. Here, I'll do Biden. Anyway, there's my Joe Biden impersonation. If we could put Obama back in, that would be great. Not great, because Obama's corrupt. People on the left, we're not allowed to say bad things about Obama because we must be racist, because we're just saying that because he's a black guy. No, it's because he's corrupt. But he's way better than Trump. Bad, but bad is way better than Trump. Bill Clinton, even though he's old and corrupt, would be way better than Trump. Hillary Clinton would be way better than Trump. As corrupt as she is, she's corrupt and horrible. Garbage. Bernie Sanders would be really good, and that'll never happen. Do you know that Bernie Sanders never had a chance? Do you know that? I didn't know that at first. I thought he did have a chance, but then I realized I was wrong. There was zero chance that Bernie would have won the primary, let alone the general election. It's never gonna happen. The Democrats even admitted this. They acknowledged this. That's how corrupt the Democratic Party is. They made sure that Bernie lost to Hillary. They made sure of it. That's illegal. They cheated. And they admitted it. They said they have the right to do that. They effectively said we have the right to do that, to choose who we want to represent us. No, you don't. You don't have that right. It's supposed to be the people's government. The Democrats are so bad that they just refused to bring forth impeachment against Trump right now. They're so corrupt. They're the oligarchy owns both parties. So there's no way the Democrats are going to go after Trump because the oligarchy is protecting Trump. That's why nothing's happening. And that's why the left isn't doing anything to stop Trump now. See, they went after him that first term. And this second term has been way worse than the first term, and they impeached him twice in the first term, and he was impeached. But the Republicans didn't uphold their end of the deal, and they protected him. So we had 4 years of the worst president in the history of this country, the dumbest president in the history of this country, and the most corrupt president in the history of this country. And now he's way worse than he was. And they brought up kabuki theater. Oh, look, we're impeaching Trump. No, they're not. They were never going to impeach him, but they're pretending that they're going to. And now they just admitted, no, we're not going to try to impeach him over what he just did. The Democrats are owned by the same people who own the Republicans and who own Trump. We do not have a democracy. This is not a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. You are being lied to. If you think that voting for corporate Democrats is going to change anything, you're wrong. Now, the guy that just won the primary in New York, oh, but he's a Muslim. Oh, no, he's a Muslim. This guy is so good that the Republicans are losing their mind that this man won. They're saying horrible things about it. I will be surprised if they don't do something to make sure he doesn't win. I don't know how they're going to fix it, because there's no way a Republican could beat him in the generals to become mayor of New York. There's no chance of that happening, except, see, the oligarchy owns this world, and they don't want this guy. They own this country. So if there's a way to do it, they'll do it. They'll say, oh, well, nothing we can do. He lost. There's no way. We all know there's no chance of it happening. But there was no chance that Trump was going to win either. And he won because they wanted him. It's so sad that we can't fix this world. And I feel the same way about my life. I feel so frustrated that I can't fix my life. And I can't fix this country. And I can't fix this world. And I can't even fix my damn life. So I've tried not to focus on this country because it's just going to make me depressed. And so I tried to ignore this stuff, but you can't help it. It keeps popping up on my YouTube and it keeps popping up on my Facebook when I'm scrolling through Facebook. I'm like, I got to stop looking at this crap. It's so bad. This is Nazi Germany all over again, folks. I don't see how you don't see it, but if you don't see it, nothing I can do it for. It's going to be worse. I think it's going to be worse than Nazi Germany, unless they don't go that far. But I think they're going that far. I think there's going to be blood in the streets. I think we're just getting warmed up, and I hope to God I'm wrong. I do not want to be right about this. I'm praying I'm wrong about this. But I think it's going to be worse than Nazi Germany, and that terrifies me. Hell, I could be in danger because I've posted stuff on Facebook. There's the odds of them coming after me are pretty low right now because I'm nobody. I'm not Destiny, but they're not coming after guys like Destiny or Robert Reich or Ann Coulter for calling them profoundly stupid. Nothing's bad happening to those people, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. I would think they'd be going after the big folks, but they're not. So maybe they will come after people like me who are telling the truth about Trump and what an awful, disgusting, vile cretin he is. And that he's stupid. You know, he didn't even know what the 3 branches of government are. He didn't know executive, legislative, and judicial. The President of the United States did not know that. I'm going to end it on that. If that doesn't blow your mind, nothing will. Y'all take care. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm out of my freaking mind, folks. See you later.